When the prestige of state and religion is low, men are free, but they find freedom intolerable and seek new ways to enslave themselves through drugs or depression. Camille Paglia. This is not just a diagnosis. It is a warning, a howl from the depths of culture, art, and history. Camille Paglia has spent her life unraveling the illusions of modernity, and here she strikes at the core of the modern condition. Freedom, she says, has become a curse, not because it is evil, but because modern man is too weak, too lost, too unformed to bear it. He begged to be released from the gods, the fathers, the myths, the old laws, and now he drifts, free, yes, but anchorless. What was once a Promethean dream has become a suburban nightmare. Endless options, endless identities, endless therapy, and behind it all, a devouring void of despair. This is Paglia's thesis. We dismantled the sacred. We tore down the temples. We mocked the fathers. We erased ritual, duty, hierarchy, form. And now, we scroll. We medicate. We sleepwalk through abundance. We are depressed, not by accident, not by chemical fate, but by cultural design. For Paglia, depression is not just an illness. It is a symptom of spiritual collapse. When desire is no longer shaped by myth, when suffering has no symbolic form, when longing is reduced to self-help and sex is stripped of drama, the soul turns inward and begins to decay. The ancient world understood this. The Greeks knew that freedom must be earned through struggle, discipline, beauty, pain. They carved their gods from stone and built tragedies to face fate. Even the Middle Ages, far from barbaric, placed the soul inside a cathedral, bowed before mystery, and gave death a name. But the modern world, it has no rites, no altars, no awe. Paglia insists we have mistaken the absence of limits for liberation, but what we've actually created is a vacuum, a formless culture without story or structure in which the individual drowns in his own autonomy. Modern man is told he can be anything, but without myth, he becomes nothing. Without hierarchy, he becomes envious. Without struggle, he becomes fragile. Without the sacred, he becomes addicted, not only to chemicals, but to identity, distraction, therapy, and self-erasure. So what does Paglia call for? A resurrection of form. Not a return to dogma, but a revival of tension. Between chaos and order, between nature and discipline, between the sacred and the profane. Art must wound again. Eroticism must reawaken. Beauty must terrify. And culture must rediscover the ritual frame, the tragic shape that gives freedom its gravity. Paglia's work is not pessimistic. It is mythic realism. She sees modernity not as a triumph, but as a stage of disintegration. A culture that has rejected its gods, but not yet earned new ones. Man was not made to drift, she might say. He was made to burn. Freedom without form is death in slow motion. We don't need more choices. We need more rights, more archetypes, more sacred confrontation with suffering and mortality. The gods are not dead. They are waiting. Waiting for someone to stop scrolling, stop whining, stop dissolving, and stand upright again. To wrest form from the formless, to become tragic, erotic, sacred, and finally, fully human. If you found something raw, true, or electrifying in this entry from our Paglia series, be sure to subscribe to the Mad Genius Thesis, where we explore the savage roots of creativity, culture, sex, power, and the sacred. Like, comment, share, and let us know which other provocateurs, philosophers, or dangerous minds you want us to take on next?